Hey YouTube, Aiden / just Aiden. Just a reminder, if you want lessons from me over Skype or Facebook or whatever, go to the link in the description and fill out the form. If you don't do that. And moving on, let's talk about slurs. So this slur that I just played was from the Brad Edwards Lip Slur book, which is an amazing book. You guys should all buy it. I use it all the time, and it's probably one of the best just overall pieces of music literature that I own. So hey, there's my pitch for the Brad Edwards Lip Slur book. This is somewhere in like the second half of the book. I heard a friend play it a couple months ago, and I was like, I like the sound of that. He actually played a different one that only went down by half steps, but I was like, I really like the sound of the like moving the slide within the slur idea. And so I went to the book and found that section, and then I found the one that I just played, and I was like, ooh, I really like this. And so I started playing it. Just the one that I just played starts on the fourth partial, tuning B flat. And after a while I was like, wait, I don't have to do this only in one partial. I can do this anywhere. And so I scooted it up one partial. And I started doing that a lot on tenor and bass, to really just kind of fill that range in. I can play every range, but it's a lot better if I can connect to the other ranges that I play. And doing the slur and making it sound good and feel good really forces you to do that. And so I did that for a while, and then I was like, ooh, I can make it really hard, for me anyway, and scoot it down a partial from the original. So now starting on F in the staff. Oh, even that was not super great. The flexibility between low B flat and F, the second and third partials, is not super easy for me, or at least it wasn't in the past. They've always felt really far away and not very connected. Playing this, especially slower than I just played it now, really forces you to be like, okay, this is where this is. And then you move down the slide, which forces you to just keep things connecting, keep the air moving. So I did that for a while on tenor and bass. It's actually a lot harder on tenor, for me anyway, especially on small tenor, because those partials are just so drastically different feeling. But playing it on tenor, I'm like, wow, this feels amazing when I do it right. And then I was like, I'm getting bored with these easy partials. Let's do, starting on high F, the sixth partial. And that gets a little more difficult because now you have the seventh partial, which is the kind of not real A flat, right? That's where we play high G, high F sharp, and in this case high F as well. And so you have to move your slide a little more often. And you end up playing to the same note in different positions. So you have to make sure those are in tune every time, kind of the same sound every time. I really like that one because the seventh partial for me has always been kind of a bugbear. It's always been just kind of not great. Not a good feeling to play high G or high F sharp. And so this forces me to just play a bunch of them connected to other notes. And then on instruments like this, I got these guys up here. Wow, I put my hand in the wrong place, which is pretty cool. And you can start on the second partial. And that just forces you to now do the really hard flexibility for me between second and third, but also get the valve involved. You have to move your slide a little bit more, especially as you go down the slide, and make things even. You can't just not fill out the bottom note every time. You can't just kind of, You have to use your air the whole time or you lose those notes. It really makes that range a lot more even. You have an octave you're playing between, and it's kind of money register for bass trombone, right? And if you can make that really even, then later when you play music, you're like, oh wow, huge difference there. And of course, you can do these on any partials. You could start on the 7th partial. I haven't done that yet. I probably should. Where you go G, F, G, B flat, G, F, F sharp, or no, F natural, A flat, F, E flat. I can't even think of it right now. That would take some conceptualizing for me, starting in the weird position. So scooting it up partials, you can do it even higher than that, of course. And then going lower, if you have vowels. Ooh, you can tell I can't do that very well. And of course, you can skip partials. This is the one that I've really enjoyed. Not really enjoyed, but really enjoy digging into, because it's something I'm really bad at. So the one that I've been doing a lot is starting on 4th partial and skipping to 6th and down to 2nd. So you're noticing a little bit of movement here, but I'm really minimizing how much I'm moving here, because if I do a lot, then especially the 4th partial, the middle one that I'm playing every time, tends to get really bad. I start double buzzing on it. It's easy to get lost if you're not listening for the notes you're playing and you're just kind of moving the slide and hoping for the best. This one really tests, at least for me, how well I'm really listening and knowing what note I'm going to play before I play it. And you can play this on different partials. Up a partial, so you're going 5, 7, 5, 3. And you can do the other way, so you can do, and this is much more difficult for me. I don't have this flexibility. I should work on that right after this video. But going, what is that? 3, 1, 3, 5. So you're playing pedal and F in the staff. Really, really, really far apart. About as far apart as you can get while just skipping one partial, right? So you can use this flexibility in so many different ways. Another way, if you want to go to the next level, is to articulate it. Now, kind of the whole point of flexibilities is not to be able to slur things really well, even though that's a nice side effect to be able to slur things really well, but as trombonists, we have to articulate basically everything we play. So if you can articulate a slur really cleanly and easily, then it's working. That's kind of the point. That's what we want to be able to do, is to articulate anything at any tempo and any range, not necessarily slur. Even though the slurring is really great, I tend to slur all the way through all of these, and then I'll articulate every single one again. Or I'll slur one, and then articulate it and go down the slide, slur, articulate, etc. So I'm always getting a little bit of both. I tend to really work on the slur, and it feels great, and then I'll articulate it, and it's completely different and terrible, and I have to kind of go, wait, why is this happening? I need to change things. So lots of things to work on. One simple slur that you can use in a bunch of different ranges. It has done a lot of good for me in the last couple months. See you guys next time.